world unto itself. It spans over 3.2 million square kilometers, equivalent to the entire European Union, 10 times the size of Germany, 11 times that of Italy, or 150 times Israel. It is as vast as the United States east of the Mississippi. This world is home to over 1.4 billion people, more than China. 1 in 6 Indians lives in areas where the population density exceeds 1,000 people per square kilometer. To the north, the Himalayas, a wall of ice, house the world's highest peaks and shape the climate and monsoons by blocking winds. To the east, the fertile, overcrowded deltas of the Ganges and Brahmaputra endure cycles of drought, floods, and devastating earthquakes. To the west, the Rajasthan deserts soar to 50 degrees in summer, while Punjab can freeze in winter. The south swelters under 30 degrees even at night until the monsoon's saving rains arrive. It is a land of extremes, shifting from European winters to Saharan heat in mere weeks. A capricious climate, an imposing geography, and yet for millennia humans have built, cultivated, prayed, and thought here. For before being a state, India is a civilization, one of the oldest, most continuous, and most vibrant in the world. While Europe spread the gospel and the Greek legacy, India chanted the Vedas and laid the foundations for zero, signs, and algebra. It is here that the decimal system was born. Our Arabic numerals are, in truth, Indian. The concept of zero, which the West received via the Arabs, was invented in India, not as absence but as a number, a revolutionary idea. As early as the 6th century, Indian scholars compiled trigonometric tables, built giant stone observatories, and predicted eclipses without lenses or telescopes. Astronomy intertwined with poetry, equations written in verse, mathematical solutions hidden in tales of banana trees and parrots. In medicine, Ayurveda pioneered nose grafts as early as the 6th century BCE, using skin from the forehead folded onto the face, a technique Western surgeons rediscovered 2,000 years later. Cataract surgeries, hundreds of catalogued medicinal plants, and remedies memorized in Sanskrit verses were also part of this tradition. In the 20th century, a self-taught prodigy named Srinivasa Ramanujan, from a poor family in southern India, arrived in Cambridge with notebooks filled with incomprehensible formulas. Their accuracy stunned Britain's greatest mathematicians. He claimed they were inspired by a goddess. Before becoming a nuclear power or a giant democracy, India was a land of quiet, dazzling geniuses. India has more philosophies than languages, more gods than villages. It is a land where karma is debated by a fireside, where the absolute is sought between two silences. While the West argued over being and essence, India meditated on the illusion of the world, the impermanence of things, and the possibility of liberation. Buddhism, likely born in the 6th century BCE, is one such path, a quest for radical detachment. Some disciples lived in total silence, sometimes for years, retreating to Himalayan forests or caves. Others followed the gentle path of non-violence, refusing to harm any living being, not even an ant. Jainism, even more demanding, had followers wear veils over their mouths to avoid accidentally swallowing insects. On the other end, Brahmanical schools debated logic, cosmology, and perception. The Sankhya school distinguished pure consciousness from the material world with a rigor rivaling Greek philosophy. Yoga originally was not a sport, but a path to mental liberation, requiring control of breath, gaze, and soul, sometimes renouncing the world entirely. Vedanta posited that all is one, that the self, Atman, is identical to the whole, Brahman, one of the most metaphysical ideas ever conceived. In temples, hymns were sung to gods with 1,000 arms, light was carved into stone, and dance was a form of prayer. This forms the Sanatana Dharma, the eternal way, now called Hinduism, a plural, fluid tradition where 1,000 forms coexist without negating each other. It rests on simple yet powerful pillars: belief in reincarnation, a cycle of lives shaped by past actions, karma, and the hope of one day escaping it. The world, in this view, is a school. You return until you learn what you must. This spiritual logic also underpins the traditional social order with its four main castes: priests, Brahmins, warriors, kshatriyas, merchants, vaishyas, and servants, shudras. Outside this system were the excluded, the untouchables. This hierarchy, religious, social, and hereditary, has shaped Indian society for centuries, a structure the 1950 Constitution sought to dismantle. This world captivated Western thinkers. Schopenhauer, Emerson, Nietzsche, and Hermann Hesse all saw in India a wisdom the West had nearly forgotten. For India didn't just invent doctrines, it lived them. And it carved them into stone, painted them on walls, danced them with the body. Its thought became architecture, its faith became art. At Ellora, the 8th century Kailasanatha temple wasn't built, but sculpted vertically from living rock. A single massive block, carved from top to foundation, gave birth to pillars, elephants, shrines, and staircases, as if a mountain turned into a cathedral. Nearly 200,000 tons of stone, removed by hand, without explosives or machines, an enigma of ingenuity. In Jaipur, in the 18th century, a star-obsessed ruler, Jai Singh II, built the Jantar Mantar, a giant stone observatory. Its dials measure time to 1/10 of a second. Its walls trace planetary orbits. Even today, modern astronomers struggle to grasp how an 18th century man achieved such precision without modern technology. Underground, stepwells like Rani Ki Vav carve sacred abysses to reach cool water. Thousands of steps, walls sculpted like temples, and earthquake-resistant hydraulic engineering designed 1,000 years ago. Then there's the metallic mystery, the Iron Pillar of Delhi, erected in the 5th century, 7 meters tall, which has never rusted despite 16 centuries of weather, a metallurgical feat still not fully understood. And, of course, the most famous, the Taj Mahal, a mausoleum of love or an emperor's dream. Translucent marble, celestial symmetries, slender minarets, the shadow of paradise etched in stone. One of the world's most admired and photographed monuments. But Indian art isn't confined to marble and rock. It dances, sings, paints, and tells stories. The frescoes of Ajanta's caves, over 1,500 years old, are masterpieces of pictorial narrative. Every gesture carries meaning. Hands speak, bodies pray, gazes meditate. In India, gesture is a language. Classical dances like Bharatanatyam or Kathak are not mere performances.